Well, hey, Scott, thank you so much for joining us here on the National Leadership Briefing. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Thanks for having me, Doug. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's good to start out the year this way, getting together and discussing the road ahead and deciding how we can best have influence. Scott, let's start. There's a lot of new people on the briefing here today. Can we just start? Why don't you introduce yourself and a little bit about your organization? Because a lot of people don't know about Right Now, and you do a lot of great work out there.
Well, thanks, Doug. I really appreciate that. And it's nice to meet anyone else who's watching this with us today. My name is Scott Hayward. I'm the co-founder and president of Right Now, and we are a political pro-life organization. So we're solely dedicated to nominating and electing pro-life politicians, both federally and provincially, right across Canada. So we're kind of if you are pro-life, which I imagine most people watching this are, we're kind of your one-stop shop for anything political dealing with the pro-life issue.
Fantastic. And we'll make sure to get people information about your organization in the post-briefing notes today. Now, Scott, today, and the reason that we're connecting now is because we have a golden opportunity immediately in front of us for us to have a massive amount of impact as people of faith in here in Canada in a political process regarding policy. Now, as soon as we start talking about political processes and we start talking about political parties, some of the folks that are brand new to the briefing maybe haven't made the connection yet as to why it is that somebody would connect into a political process inside of a political party. Can you just touch on maybe some of the advantages or some of the reasons why that's an opportunity not to miss?
Sure, Doug. Yeah, I appreciate that. Political parties generally have policy conventions about once every 2 years or so. And at these policy conventions, you have a number of delegates who are members of that political party, represent one of the 338 ridings across Canada, come to a convention, represent the party members of that riding to propose and vote on policies. And these policies are the official stances that political parties take on a variety of issues. So it will be issues dealing with the environment, issues dealing with the economy, issues dealing with foreign affairs, and so on and so forth. One of the many issues that political parties, of course, deal with are social issues. And for pro-lifers, this is a great opportunity. Within the Conservative Party of Canada, for example, pro-lifers have made great strides in the last number of policy conventions. Doug, I know you yourself have been part of them, and we worked together on them in the past. And there are a number of strong pro-life policies in the Conservative Party of Canada that we've been able to get through over the last number of years. Things like, condemning sex-selective abortion, defunding abortion overseas, born alive legislation, unborn victims of crime, and many others as well. However, there is one, problem that we as pro-lifers have within that policy book for the Conservative Party, and that's they have only one pro-abortion policy, which is policy number 70, saying that a Conservative government will not support legislation to regulate abortion. Of course, many people watching this call will know that Canada is one of only 2 or 3 countries in the world to have absolutely no law whatsoever regulating abortion. Most other countries have some sort of reasonable restrictions. Canada has none. So, this is kind of that last vestige of pro-abortion policy within the Conservative Party of Canada that we can get rid of. So it's a great opportunity. Now, not everything that's in a policy manual for a political party is necessarily introduced and going to be voted on and passed when that political party is in power. But for a lot of the policies, that is the case. Party leaders, party officials, they really do, candidates, and members of caucus, they really do pay attention as to where the base and the significant supporters of a political party are, and the best way to kind of gauge that is what did they vote for or against at the latest political party policy convention. So that's why it's a great opportunity for pro-lifers to get involved coming up here.
Right now, and so that opportunity is coming up in March, when the Conservative Party of Canada is going to be having their very first virtual policy convention. So there's some advantages for us as people of faith in Canada to engage in that process. What are some of the advantages of this next opportunity?
That's a good point, Doug. So it is the first and hopefully last time that they have to do a virtual policy convention. But like I mentioned earlier, they do these about once every 2 years. So the last time this happened was in Halifax in August of 2018. It was supposed to be in Quebec City this year, but obviously because of the COVID-19 restrictions, that's not going to be the case. For a lot of people who are watching this who don't live in Atlantic Canada, you can imagine that if you're voted as a delegate for a riding from, let's say where you are, Doug, in British Columbia, that's quite the expense to go from Vancouver and fly all the way across the country to Halifax, which actually I did last time because I had an event in Vancouver last time. That's a long flight. I did a red eye, got a little bit of sleep. But in addition to the flights, most delegates have to pay for meals, they have to pay for hotels, and they have to pay for a delegate fee that's usually about $750 because the party has to rent the convention space and provide some food and all this other stuff, printing materials and whatnot. None of that's there this time. So with a virtual policy convention, all those costs are gone. I believe it's $199, so it's just under $200 to register as a delegate. So normally when you include all those other fees, you're talking about $2,000, for a normal convention. Now it's $200. For all intents and purposes, the convention is 90% off, which is a huge advantage for pro-lifers. When I spoke to a lot of pro-lifers back in 2018, encouraging to come to Halifax so that we could get rid of that pro-abortion policy, most of the people who didn't attend, it wasn't because they didn't want to attend, it was because of cost. Right. Well, the costs are drastically reduced. They're not, reduced to nil, but pretty darn close. And in the next policy convention for the Conservative Party, or any other political party for that matter, in 2023 or 2024, whatever, that likely will probably be in person, and those costs will be back. So this is a great, almost once in a lifetime opportunity for pro-lifers to flood the convention as delegates at this virtual convention right from their computer screen like we're doing right now. So that's a really, really big advantage for pro-lifers this time around.
Fantastic. And our crew here at the National Leadership Briefing, we've been tracking along with the deadlines leading up to the delegate registration that's coming up. So we've got our memberships in place so that we're eligible to be delegates, but what is actually happening as far as timelines go for registering as a delegate, and what do our people need to know, Scott, about the important deadlines and the timing of registration that's coming up?
So that's a great question, and things are going to be moving relatively quickly. So one of the deadlines has already passed. That was a week ago on Christmas Day, December 25th. In order to be eligible to be a party member long enough to attend the virtual convention as a delegate, one must have been a member 21 days prior to registering as a delegate. So on January 4th, that's Monday, January 4th, on Monday coming up, that's when the website will open up to register as a delegate. And then you have about 10-ish days. It closes on January 15th to register as a delegate, but you have to have been a member of the party for at least 21 days prior. So if you were a member of the party by Christmas Day, you're good to go. You can register as a delegate, and I encourage you to do so. So January 4th is when that portal opens. January 15th is when it closes. And the way the party's gonna run it is they're going to look at, okay, who has registered as a delegate by January 15th? And let's say in your riding, Doug, or my riding, only 7 people registered as delegates. Well, each riding gets to send up to 10 delegates, and of those, if only 7 people registered and paid the $199 fee by January 15th at the deadline, then they are automatically delegates for convention. They're automatically voting delegates. Right. If more than 10 people sign up and pay the fee by January 15th, they'll have an electronic delegate selection meeting. So members of the party within the riding, they will be sent, let's say, the list of 12 or 13 or 15 people that want to be delegates, and members of the party must vote by a certain date as to who will go as delegates. Right. So it's important that we meet these deadlines as quickly as possible because things will be moving quickly. I have a feeling that a lot of people out there are kind of zoomed out, including pro-lifers, but we have to make sure that we use that to our advantage and make sure that we register and pay those fees to attend as delegates. Last time, Doug, as you know, you were there. We were 107 votes away out of a room almost out of 3,000 people to voting away that one and only pro-abortion policy in their policy convention. So, that's less than one person per riding, or one person, it's less than one person for every 3 ridings out there.
Right.
So with this virtual convention, it's a huge opportunity to attend. So make sure for everyone watching that you register on the Monday morning on January 4th and pay your fee to register as a delegate.
Now, actually, if I can ask you that question just for clarification. So if you got your membership on December the 25th on the deadline, do you have to wait until January 15th to register as a delegate, or can you register at January 4th and then still be considered because you're in that range? Do you know what I'm saying about the deadline? You have to be
Yeah,
for
no,
21 days?
that's a good question. To be honest, I don't quite know the answer.
Okay.
It would be something that we'd be happy to look into and follow up with you in early January.
Let's do
My
that. Yeah.
Yeah, my sense is to register sooner rather than later, just to be safe.
Yeah.
And they'll see like, okay, they can't be a delegate as of January 4th, but they can as of January 15th. January 15th is the cutoff anyway.
Right.
So it's not like someone would bump ahead of you if you registered on January 4th and you couldn't register until January 15th. You have up to January 15th to register and to nominate yourself.
Okay. Then that's great. Now there's going to be people out there, Scott, you and I both know, whenever they hear stuff like this for the first time and they kind of maybe some of it starts to overwhelm them. I just want to assure everybody that's on the call today that we're just asking you to take this one step of faith here to actually get your name in, get registered. If you've got that party membership in place by December the 25th, you are eligible. Take that flyer and pull that $199 out of your pocket and put it down on the table, because again, these policy conventions, you may say, well, I don't know anything about voting policies, all that stuff, but we've got guys like Scott that are willing to walk along the road with us all the way along. He's just not here on this briefing just this one time. He's going to be coming back, and we are going to be walking this road all the way up to the date of the convention online, and we're going to have the plan laid out. You're going to be totally trained. You're going to know exactly what it is that we're doing and how we're doing it, and you are going to add your voice to ours, and we're going to have a massive impact at this upcoming convention. Does that sound pretty accurate, Scott?
Absolutely, yeah. And we've been working with you, Doug, and a few other pro-life groups out there. We've all been on the calls together. You know, we're working with pro-life EDA presidents out there to make sure we get the policies in place. We've known of the deadlines and the schedule of things for quite some time, so we've been well prepared for it. The one step that people watching this need to do is just to make sure that if they are a member as of December 25th of the Conservative Party of Canada, to sign up as a delegate. That's the only thing, that's the one and only takeaway from this call. As for, you know, which policies are we voting for, and, you know, when do I attend, you know, regional meetings, and who do I vote for as a national council candidate, you know, we'll talk about that as time goes on. Maybe a little bit later on this call, we can delve into some of those things. But if you sign up, I guess one important thing, in addition to signing up, I suppose the second thing that's really important is to either let Doug and his team or myself and the Right Now team know that you have signed up as a delegate.
Right.
For two reasons. Number one, if you are automatically selected as a delegate, because there were less than 10 people who signed up to be a delegate in your riding as of January 15th, we want to make sure that, like Doug said, we walk with you through the process, because after that, then we're going to let you know, okay, these are the policies that we absolutely need to vote for. These are the policies we need to vote against. Here are the candidates that we, you know, strongly suggest you vote for national council.
Right.
And then the other reason is, let's say there are more than 10 people who sign up to be a delegate for your riding. We want to let our people know, our Right Now supporters know, who reside in your riding, who are members of the party, to vote for you to be a delegate, because they will get that ballot for the electronic delegate selection meeting. So number one is to sign up as a delegate, and number two is to send us a quick email to let us know, so that we can guide you through the rest of the process, whether you're selected automatically as a delegate or whether we need to ensure our level best effort to make sure that you're elected as a delegate as well.
Excellent. And everyone here on the call today, Scott, also knows that we have set up conservativeupdate.com, where you can check the boxes and say, it is my intent to be a delegate at the upcoming Conservative Convention. And then you just put your registration, your name in there and your email address, and we'll make sure Scott gets a copy of that as well. Okay. Hey, Scott, thanks. Anything else to add before we sign off for today?
I guess the other one thing I want to mention briefly about policy convention is, in addition to voting for or against policies that affect our pro-life principles and values, is the Conservative Party of Canada, most other political parties operate in this way. Their version of a board of directors is called a national council. And national council is also really important, and national councils are elected at each party policy convention for a term of from that convention to the next convention,
That's
usually
right.
about 24 months, give or take. And national council is really important to us right now and to you as pro-lifers, because within the Conservative Party of Canada, National Council has two important roles that affect us. Number one, National Council is the final body of appeal for people who are running to be nomination candidates to be nominated as the actual Conservative Party of Canada candidate in the 338 ridings. So, you know, if someone who doesn't share our values within the party sees that a pro-lifer is running to be a nomination contestant and finds the most spurious reason to encourage whoever they need to encourage in the party for them to be disqualified, we can then work with a pro-life majority on National Council to make sure that that's overturned. And so that's really important. They hold a lot of power in that regard. Number two, National Council is also in charge of setting up what's called the Leadership Election Organizing Committee, also known as LEOG. And the LEOG is in charge of setting up the dates and the times and the amounts and the rules for a leadership race if there were to be a leadership race to be held. So as most people know, earlier, well, not this year, now it's the new year, but back in 2020, there was a leadership race to replace Andrew Scheer. And National Council at that time was responsible for setting up this LEOC that ran that leadership race. So we just want to make sure that we have a pro-life majority on National Council to ensure that who they are appointing to LEOC is going to ensure that a fair race was held. And the best way to ensure that is by showing up to convention and voting for these pro-life candidates for National Council. We've worked with Doug and a number of other pro-lifers. We have a slate of pro-life candidates running for National Council across the country. We do have an opportunity, in addition to getting rid of that pro-abortion policy and voting for pro-life policies, to make the Conservative Party of Canada more pro-life in their policy. We also have this very opportunity to elect a pro-life majority to National Council, essentially their board of directors. So that's another reason to attend this virtual policy convention as well.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because you and I have been around in political party processes before, and we've discovered, and we share this with everybody, the way that you affect change and have influence in a political party is from the inside, not from the outside. The people that are on the outside just chirping and squawking, they have zero influence. But the minute you have that membership card or you become a delegate at convention, your voice is added to others and you have great influence. And that's what we're here to do today. And so thank you, Scott, for taking some time to help us along. We're looking forward to hearing from you again. I know you've committed to walk this road with us. In the meantime, I will make sure that we've got post-briefing note materials that go out to everybody. But remember, everybody, get that delegate registration done between January 4th and January 15th, and then we'll keep moving along, educating you and getting you ready for convention. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Doug. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year to you too, pal. Take care.
Bye for now.
Okay, we're on the home stretch here now, and just going to play a quick video here promoting conservativeupdate.com, because as soon as you go and register yourself as a delegate, we're going to want to know about it. So go to conservativeupdate.com and make sure that we know of your intent to participate in this process. We'll be back right after this. Again, thank you so much for being with us on the National Leadership Briefing today. We look forward to keeping in touch with you on the National Leadership Briefings of the future, but also we've got midweek touch points, midweek every single week between briefings. So let's just touch base really quickly between briefings and make sure we're all doing all we can to stay connected, looking for those opportunities where we can speak with a unified voice to the issues that are of importance to us in the faith communities of Canada. Again, thanks so much. God bless you all. God bless your families, and may God continue to bless this great nation of Canada. Bye for now.
The bear has been poked. It's time to wake up from our slumber
and stand together, united as one. One family, one body, one church.
We will not walk past the vulnerable.
Say nothing, do nothing, and turn a blind eye.
We are citizens of a great nation.
We are good Samaritans to our neighbors. You are not alone.
We are the largest unified voice in Canada. So we stand united. This is our rally cry. We are Christ to our nation. This is our battle cry. He shall have dominion from sea to sea and from the river unto the ends of the earth. Righteousness will reign. Justice will prevail. We are united.